Hey, so I'm going to do this video on buying plants from like Lowe's and Home Depot, and I'm going to repot this plant with appropriate nutrients into a slightly bigger container. And this is a red bell pepper plant, by the way. And I'm going to plant it in here, and you'll see the difference between that junk. I don't know what it is. It's kind of soil that you get from Lowe's or a Home Depot. Compared to that. Now what I've done here is this is basic potting mix. I'm going to replant this and give this thing some strength. Look how wimpy that is. That is pathetic. That's mostly what things from Garden Depot and Lowe's look like. Or Home Depot and Lowe's look like. I mean, look at that. Leggy, barely able to support itself. Probably packed with non-organic fertilizers, not cared for well. And this is what you pay, whatever, $3.50 for. So I've amended this soil. I'm going to transplant it today. When you transplant it, by the way, don't transplant it in the sun in the heat of the day. It's going to have some shock when it transfers to a new container. But as you'll see, I've added some additional perlite to the potting mix to make it a little bit more airy and a little bit more air pockets. I've added gypsum, bone meal, fish meal. I'm actually going to add some of this Charlie's compost. This is chicken compost. Use about a pint for every gallon of potting mix. So I put that in there as well. I'm going to come back and show you what this plant looks like in 2 weeks and the difference of health. This is why you should probably always grow your plants from seed. I don't have enough time this year because I'm only home in Houston for probably 2 to 4 more weeks until COVID-19's over. Then I'm going back. So I don't want to burden my family with all these plants. So I'm only going to do one pepper plant this year. I'm going to try to rescue this lame or pathetic plant that I bought from Home Depot and show you, again, the difference between growing from your own seed or maybe what you should do when you replant this to another pot before you put it outside to make it stronger with the appropriate nutrients. I'll get back to you in a week or two. Bye. Everybody, Jeff, your executive gardener, back to finish the second part video on my red sweet pepper, the bell pepper. I filmed this 11 days ago. I showed you the pathetic looking bell pepper. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like now after you repot it with good potting soil. You know, I'm at home in Houston, and my new home in Pittsburgh. I'm still here because of COVID-19. By the way, I hope everybody's doing well, staying safe at this point in time. But I usually don't do promos for products, but I got these TrebLab X5 things to do my video, and they work pretty well. So the sound content, I think, is pretty well. This one's sticking up a little bit, but it goes comfortably in your ear. And all the videos that I'm going to do going forward, I'm going to use this TrebLab X5. So I am the master of earpieces for cell phones. Most of them don't work, but I think these are pretty good. They're about half the price of Apple iBuds, and they work pretty well. Let me turn around and show you. And by the way, I'll put a coupon for this if you're interested in getting the same earbuds that I have. I've probably been through, I think, at least 18 of them, and I finally found one that fits my ear, sounds good, good noise cancellation, good battery life. So check it out when you get a chance. Let me show you what this bell pepper looks like. Beautiful night here in Houston as the sun goes down. It was 91 degrees in late April here. Anyway, let's take a look at this plant. So this is what it looks like. You saw the before and after. So this pot looks to be about a 1 gallon pot. And it's a red bell pepper. So the first thing I did was I amended it with good potting mix. I put in perlite and all the necessary NPK and micronutrients. And then probably every 5 days I give it a good shot of that stinky, I guess it's fish emulsion. It's like a 1-1-1 fertilizer. The freaking pepper plants love it. Let's take a close look. You saw what it looked like before wilty stem, wilty leaves, very wimpy looking. 11 days later, this is what it looks like. My point is that not that I'm a genius, but it's okay to buy plants like you'll see here. This is a Bonnie Rell bed pepper. It's okay to buy plants and not do everything from your own seed, but if you do it, take it home, repot it before you put it in the ground, and supercharge it with a lot of great nutrients. And I'm going to replant this thing here shortly. So the size of this thing is probably doubled within 11 days. And as you'll see here, I actually got a 2-for-1. So there's actually 2 pepper plants that were in this pot. As you can see, the stems are very firm. It's been windy here as well, but they're not leaning over anymore. And doing very good. And look at the foliage. This is what a pepper plant foliage should look like. Very glossy, shiny, green. This means that it's getting the appropriate amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Then I supplement it with some overall micronutrients. But this thing will reward me. If you take care of pepper plants when they're young, regardless, even though when they grow them at Bonnie and all these big box stores, they feed them a fertilizer that's not organic, and they overfeed it, and it's not prepared to do well on its own, as you saw for the previous video. Guarantee you, this bell pepper is good to go. It will reward me. I'm soaking, the roots are entrenched in great nutrients at this point in time. And I think when it gets about, 4 or 5 inches taller, I'll repot it out to the garden. My plan, I used to top my pepper plants. I'm not going to top this, see how they go. But again, when you get pepper plants from these big box stores, I got a 2-for-1 here. I'm not going to separate. I'm going to let them grow next to each other. And go from there. I'll show you the repotting later, but this is proof that you can buy wimpy, unfertilized or over-fertilized plants from big box stores, and within 10-11 days it can look really good. Hope you've enjoyed this brief video on before and after this pepper plant. Please give me a like. Hope everybody's doing well and staying healthy during this quarantine time, during COVID-19. Hope to talk to you soon. Jeff, your executive gardener, signing out. Bye for now.